All right, the I can for today is I can find the area of composite figures. So a composite figure is when you have two or more smaller parts that are being put together side by side, non-overlapping, to create a larger figure that is known as a composite figure. We're going to find the area of those two or more smaller parts, add them together, and then that will give us the total area of the composite figure. So we're going to use 3 steps to find the area of composite figures. The first step is to label. So when you see a composite figure, look for at least 2 or more different shapes inside. So I can see that if I break this apart right here, I now have 2 shapes. I have a rectangle and a square, or I have 2 rectangles, more specifically this one's a square. I can label this first shape A, and I'll label this second shape B. And that will help me keep track of the area for A and the area for B. Next, I'm going to see if I have all my dimensions labeled. Okay, so this is still part step 1, labeling process. So I can see here, I don't know what this dimension is here, and I don't know what this dimension is here, but I can figure it out. If you can see that there is one part here that you don't know the dimension of, look for a larger parallel line somewhere. So I can see right here, this is a parallel line, right? This is a part of this hole. If this hole is 5 centimeters long, and I don't know this part, but I do know this part right here, think about that. These are all parallel lines, right? They all have this beginning point right here, and this ending point right here. This is 5. This is 2. How would I find this missing dimension? 2 plus something equals 5, because if I put this line and this line together, it'll give me this line, or this length. So 2 plus 3 is equal to 5. That's how I found the missing dimension here. Let's do the same thing now with this dimension here. I don't know what this dimension is, right? But I'm going to look for that longer parallel line right here. Here's this entire base. Here's 4. So I know this is 4. This is something. And up here is 2. So you kind of got to ignore these other lines for a second. Just look at this long one right here, 4. This part up right here, 2. And then right here. So 2 plus something equals 4. 2 plus 2 equals 4. So now I have all my dimensions filled out. So labeling, step 1, check. Step 2 is to find the area of your 2 smaller figures. So rectangle A is equal to 2 times 5, length times the width, is equal to 10 square centimeters. So A is equal to 10 square centimeters. And then rectangle B just looking at this shape here, B is 2 times 2 is equal to 4 square centimeters. This right here, just the shape here, is equal to 4 square centimeters. And my last step is to add together the 2 parts to figure out the composite, or the total area. 10 plus 4 is equal to 14 square centimeters. And that is the total area, or the composite figures area. Let's try another one. All right, so here we have our composite figure. And the first step is to label the parts. So you can break it apart into different ways, but I'm going to break it apart into a top shape and a bottom shape, or a top rectangle and a bottom rectangle. This is also a square, right? Because it's 5 by 5. Okay, and I'm going to label this top here A and this bottom B. Now, before I keep going, I want to make sure that all my dimensions are labeled. So I know right here, this is 10 feet. This is 1 foot. This is 5 feet. This is 5 feet, but I am missing these 2 dimensions here. So I'm going to look at just this length right here. I don't know what this is, but I'm going to look for a longer parallel line right here. And I can see that this is part of this longer dimension. This number, this dimension's got to be a part of a 5, right? So something plus 1 is equal to 5. 1 plus something is equal to 5. 1 plus 4 is equal to 5. So I know that this little dimension right here is 4 feet. Now let's look at this one right here. I know that this dimension has to be a part of the number 10. This right here has to be a part of 10, right? So something plus 5 is equal to 10, or 5 plus something is equal to 10. 5 plus 5 is equal to 10, or 5 feet plus 5 feet is equal to 10 feet. So now I have all my dimensions labeled. So step 1 is done. Step 2 is to find the area of the 2 or more shapes that you've created. So I'm going to find the area of just this part A and then just this part B. So rectangle, or more specifically, we can call it a square, but I'm just going to label it rectangle for now. Rectangle A is 5 times 5, the area. So that's equal to 25 square, in this case, feet. I'm going to write 25 square feet for A. And then rectangle B, right here, is 1 times 5, just B right here, 1 times 5. And that's equal to 5 square feet. And so just B is 5 square feet. And then my last step is to add them together. So add A and B together to figure out the whole, or the composite area. So I have 25 plus 5, which is equal to 30 square feet. And that is my total area for the composite figure. All right, let's try another one. All right, let's find the area of this composite figure. So step 1 is to label the parts, right? So break it apart into smaller shapes. I think the easiest thing I can see is if I draw a line here, I'll have a shape on top and a shape on bottom, or a rectangle on top and a rectangle on bottom. And I'll label the one on top A and the one on bottom B. So just this longer rectangle is A, and then this rectangle on the bottom is going to be B. And let's make sure we have all our dimensions labeled. So the top, sides, the bottom, side, but this one's missing. Okay, so let's look and see. I don't know what this is. I'm going to look for a longer parallel line here, right? So something plus 3 plus 3 is equal to 9. Kind of think of this longer line right here has to be the same length as these 3 pieces right here, these 3 lengths. Because if I were to cut this and bring it over here, it would be parallel and equal to this top line. So something plus 3 is equal to 9. And 3 plus 3 is 6. So something plus 6 is equal to 9. 3 plus 3 plus 3 is equal to 9. So I found that missing dimension. So step 1 is done. I labeled my 2 new shapes. And now I'm going to find the area of the 2 new shapes. So rectangle A and rectangle B. So rectangle just A's area is 9 times 1, which is equal to 9 square, in this case inches. And then just looking at B, just B is 3 by 3. So 3 times 3 is equal to 9 square inches. And then my final step to find the composite area is to add it together. Or the composite figures area is 9 plus 9. So 9 up here, this is 9 square inches. And down here is 9 square inches. So 9 plus 9 is equal to 18 square inches. And that is the total area of the composite figure.